Welcome back to Just Opinion Media Review, and today's media is Crazy Food Truck. This is a manga series, and it starts off with, and I'll do the summary of the three volumes. Starts off with an old man driving down in this desert of a wasteland, and he almost hits this person in a sleeping bag. And he finds it's a girl, and she's like naked. And he's like, what do I do here? Well, he puts her in the truck, and she wakes up, and she's like, I'm hungry, and so he feeds her, and then this is the running plot throughout the whole entire the three volumes, that she's like always hungry, so he's always trying to feed her, and he's like, and he's like, I have like three rules. And I don't remember all the three rules, but I know one of them is always put some damn clothes on. Now I don't know if the sleeping bag had clothes, but they're just like the next frame she has like pants and a shirt on. So basically this volume he kind of teaches her how to get food, and she's kind of a mysterious character. They get pulled over by a militia, and they're like, hey, we're looking for this girl. She escaped, and the old man is like, nope, never seen her before, and and then the girl they're like, oh well, we gotta search your truck. So they go search the truck, and the girl's not in there, and somehow she climbed on top of the food truck, and she starts attacking the militia, and then he ends up fighting them, and they end up running away, and this food truck has like cannons like built into it, and they end up destroying some of the militia trucks. And then we find a character, the antagonist. He's like, she got away, and there's like a not playful, but it's kind of a funny interaction between the two, his officer, and so they continue on. They find a giant octopus, and they eat the octopus, and then they make burgers. Somehow they make some type of burger or something like that. And they go to this deserted town, and there's ex-militia members hiding in this town, and they take it over because this used to be a beer town. And once the old man hears about the beer, he's like, well, we gotta rescue this town because I want that beer. So he goes in and beats the head ex-militia guy, and then the guy, the ex-militia guy, ends up getting picked up by the antagonist, and it's like, yeah, scorpion on his shoulder, and the antagonist is like, oh, I think it's the general, and they end up the antagonist ends up finding them at another town. And he ended up staging this catch up, or this arrest, and so they end up fighting. The antagonist fights the general and the mystery girl, and the mystery girl ends up like the antagonist has a sword, and the girl ends up like grabbing the sword, and so she ends up cutting her hand. And then they escape, and that's the end of that. Well, it ends with the girl eating and then waking up and her hands healed, and the guy's like, huh, or the general's like, huh, okay, that's gonna be interesting. So volume 2, basically kind of all the same shenanigans. The girl is always hungry, so they're always trying to find food, and they end up getting to this town, or this town is known for sushi, and the girl's like, oh, I want sushi. So they get to this town, they're declined, and then they have a picture of the girl, and these members of this town are like, or not the members, but the police officers of this town are like, I think that's the runaway girl. And so they get this giant tank, and they end up running the food truck off the road, and they end up capturing the mystery girl. And they're like, oh, should we kill the old man? And they're like, no, this town's known for accidents, we'll let him go. And the start off of this volume is this head woman of, it's not like the FBI, but it's some type of organization. She's like, oh, yeah, I'll send you her sister, the mystery girl's sister. Train her. And the antagonist is like, I don't want to train. I don't want to have kids with me. And she's like, oh, well, she's not really a kid. She's like, even though she's 8 years old, she's intelligent. And so they go on and they find this. They're like, well, we don't really need to worry about the mystery girl. Let's just go out and do a mission with her sister and let her get experience. So they go to this. They're looking for this tree that has collected water, and it's become some type of just like a water tree. And they get in there and they find out that it's actually like kind of like a piranha's plant type thing, where it's like it brings you in because it's like, oh, it's water. Because again, there's some like apocalypse happened or something like that, and so like all the water is like sparse. And so they get in there, and the one guy ends up getting the officer of the antagonist ends up getting like captured, but they end up freeing him. Like, oh, we gotta report this back to HQ, about the plants attacking people, and that, like, I don't think that plot point ever goes anywhere else. So, but it's just kind of, I think it's just kind of set up to say the antagonist is a little bit, he's not as bad as you think he is. So we go back to the general, and he wakes up, and one of his former comrades in the army rescues him, and he's like, yeah, I think there is sushi behind there, but we'll also get save the girl. And there's a plot point, I don't quite get it, but the prince of this town was like, oh, if I capture this girl, we'll send a message towards it's not HQ, but to the operation, that we're not to be messed with or something like that. So the antagonist ends up finding that the girl's captured, and they're like, well, I'll go talk to a former friend. So then the antagonist, the general, and the former comrade, they were all in a group together, like 5 years ago or something like that. And the general was, the general, and then the antagonist was, one of the comrades, and he was like up and comer. There was a lady with him. The lady is now the person that gives out the orders at the headquarters, or at the organization, and they're kind of talking like, okay, well, let's put our differences aside, and we'll rescue the mystery girl. So they do that. The one comrade was like, oh, I took liberties to fix your food truck, and he turned it into like a battle tank, and then the battle tank just jumped on top of the big tank, took it over. They came in, they found the mystery girl and the prince, because this place has supposedly has air quotes wealth, but the wealth was actually just giant hills that they were protecting. So they blew up that, and they all go their separate ways. They're like, okay, the antagonist is like, well, I'll let you go. And he's not so much more antagonist now. He's just, now. I'll just keep going antagonist. It's easier that way, dude. So, they go back. They don't tell the head lady that that they saw the mystery girl, and so then the sister tells the head lady, yeah, we saw our sister, and the antagonist is like, this is why I don't like to work with kids. And so the head lady's like, well, okay, well we're all gonna go get the girl. So they all get in a chopper. They go, somehow they find the general and the mystery girl, and the general shoots them down, and she gets out. Everybody's fine. And the general's like, oh, I didn't realize that it was you, and then you, and you, and you. And the guy's like, how about you? Yeah, the antagonist's like, you gotta stop doing that. And so then we find out the mystery girl is actually a clone of the head lady. And so all they're called dolls, and they're supposed to be used for like weapons or something like that. And the lady's like, we want the girl back. And the guy's like, oh, I can't do that. And the girl is choosing to be with me, and so they let him go. Hilary goes back to the organization, and the organization's like, all right, well, we'll take care of this. Oh, this is sorry, the everything about the helicopter being shot down and everything. This is volume 3, and this is I'd say probably the weirdest volume. Later on, the general and the girl are eating. The girl ends up somehow kissing. I'm not 100% sure. This volume's like the weirdest volume. So, because the girl ends up kissing. They do the stereotypical, oh well, I'll eat the food, but then we kiss now. And I don't know if they had sex, but there's a scene as like vroom or something, with the words, and they both come back. They're like naked. I think I could be completely wrong, but I was like, okay, I don't quite know. I don't know if because now he knows that's a clone of the head lady, and they were all a team. So I don't know if that. But then they get sworn by a bunch of the operations military, and then the head lady, the antagonist, his officer, and the sister come in. They save him, but they're like, oh, just run or whatever, and we'll take care of all this. So they go down, but the general and the girl end up getting caught again, and so they get surrounded, and then they go out with a blaze of glory. So I don't know if they're dead, but it shows them being like shot at, and it's a black silhouettes with like looks like flames and bullets being shot. So it's kind of a cool scene. And then we go 5 years into the future, and now the antagonist, the little sister, and the officer they run a food truck, and that's how it ends. I think this was it was a pretty good read. I mean, 3 volumes. I just kind of read it all in almost one sitting. And most of the time with reading manga volumes, I'm like have to like I can read like one book, and then it's like, okay, I gotta go do something. But this one I was kind of interested until volume 3. Volume 3 was kind of like it just, like I said, it took a pivot, because I don't think that in the first 2 volumes that they ever set up that he's like romantically interested in the mystery girl, the general. And so then when they just kind of date, and then it just kind of takes a weird plot point where it's just like, yep, we're dead now. So out of a 1 to 5 scale, I would give it a 3. 3 with being like the artwork is pretty cool. The story for the most part was pretty. It's kind of where it's like, oh, I kind of like to hear this, like what they're actually sounding like, because you know, because always when he's like, put some damn clothes on, it's like, for some reason I don't know, but the old man just he's nowhere near the character of like Bo. But I just feel like that's how he would talk, was kind of a deep voice, and he's just like, put some clothes on or something like that. I don't know. But like I said, I think it was rushed towards the end. I think they must have said like, hey, these books aren't selling well, or that's probably what it was. It probably was like we'll give you another volume, but that's the last volume. So I think it just that the whole kissing scene, I just like, it just came out of nowhere. It's just like all of a sudden they're just like, yep, and now we're having sex. It's like, okay, but well, I hope you guys enjoyed. I still don't know how to end these videos. Like, I want to have like some cool, like, like do like, I should do some, like, I've been watching this this one lady. She eats a bunch of big plates of food, like the food challenge, like man vs. food type challenges. And she does this, okay, bye, and she does like this peace sign. And it's like, I should just do that, like, just do like the peace sign, and just, since this is I don't do a face reveal, just be like, yep, and goodbye, and do like some type of hand gesture or something like that. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.